Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pundits Sports. I am going to be soon joined by Dhaval, Shethia, and today we are going to be reviewing the United States Grand Prix. Guys, how amazing was this US Grand Prix? Honestly, I felt like we were going to be treated with a very boring and drag race, but it got so good towards the end. It got so nice and it got so um, unpredictable, I would say, that we were able to be treated to a good race. It started off pretty good. I think with Carlos Sainz getting pole and quali, it was something that was not seen in a while after Silverstone. So I think that was a feel good moment for quite a few Ferrari fans, and we had quite a good time. Seeing Sainz get on pole. Quali was so close, like with Zhou's timing getting deleted in Q2 and Lando getting pushed up to Q3. It was pretty intense. And to be fair, the Alfa Romeos looked pretty quick this weekend. We had Zhou almost come into the top 10. We had Bottas come into the top 10, and they look pretty quick. I had some great expectations, to be fair, from them. However, the talk of the town, of course, is that Red Bull Racing RBPT, Oracle Red Bull Racing. Let's be politically correct. Oracle Red Bull Racing, and now the constructors champions. Both the championships have been decided. However, we've got a pretty cool battle coming up for P2 in the championship with Russell, Hamilton, Sainz, Checo, and Charles all gunning towards P2 in the championship, and obviously the closest fight being between Checo and Charles. Hello, Harsh Sahib Singh. It's so good to see you as always. I'm just waiting on Dhaval to join. Dhaval should be
अच्छा
joining
सुन
in
ना
a minute. बोलना bro.
मैं इधर ही है. I
तो
am
तू
here
इधर ही
in
है.
spirit. I am going to be on video in like a minute or so. But how is Hamilton's chances for getting P2 this year? Very bleak, I'm guessing.
Very bleak, but he's still mathematically in the running.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
think he should have won this race? He could have
I
won this
think
race.
he could have
after
won
the
this race. Yes.
4-hour Verstappen pit stop.
Not only that, Vettel's pit stop. We will get to the pit stops. The pit stop drama was so good. I mean, after the first 20 laps, I felt like, okay, we're going to be expecting another Verstappen finish, constructors title. I mean, after the first lap, as soon as Russell took Sainz out, the championship was lost right there. Realistically, Harsahib, yes, Hamilton could get P3, and I think we're all looking at Hamilton getting probably a top 5 in the Drivers' Championship this year. Sainz, surprisingly, after a brilliant last year and finishing top 5, has now dropped down to P7 or P6 in the constructors, in the drivers, which is
Thanks to George Russell.
All thanks to George Russell, which is kind of sad.
तो उड़ा दिया और almost podium लेके गया वो लड़का.
Russell, नहीं, almost. Almost तो बहुत कुछ हुआ है. Almost the Checo was also fighting for the championship.
Hey, Checo was fighting for the championship. What are you saying? Until they slowed down his car purposely.
Yeah, speaking of, I think,
remember that time?
But to be fair, Dhaval, since you are in there in spirit, how do you feel about the US track? I think for me, at least, I love the track. I really love Kota. I really love it as a circuit because it's got some great elevation changes. It's got some great corners. It's got the S's that take some great class to maneuver around. So what are your takes on Kota as a circuit first?
यार देख, मैंने उसको अभी तक गेम पे खेला नहीं है, तो मैं उसको इन डेप्थ वैसा एनालिसिस नहीं किया है, बट काफी मस्त एंटरटेनमेंट होता है. ओवरटेक ज्यादातर होते रहते हैं, तो मजा तो आ रहा है यार देखने में, है कि नहीं? यही तो चाहिए अपने को. अपन तो एकदम मस्त सा सस्ते आदमी है.
And I think Formula One's new regulations, which is the 2022 cars, were able to follow pretty good. Kota and
Absolutely.
Kota both have great elevation. Harsai, what a great line. What a great line, to be fair. That honestly is one of my favorite lines.
क्या बोला वो?
Kota and Kota, like COTA and KOTA,
हाँ.
have an amazing track. To be fair,
Record.
track record.
हाँ. हाँ.
Both
हम
have
भी
great
jocks
elevation
मारते हैं,
changes.
jocks.
Jokes aside, Kota, yes, Harsai, I think it's a great what do you call track. And at the end of the day, we were gifted with some pretty good racing. Yes, there were safety cars, there were crashes, there were wheelies, there were multiple failure pit stops. But if you had to, Dhaval, this question goes out to you, and the question goes out to the chat as well. If you all had to kind of talk about your breakout star or your breakout moment of the entire weekend, what would it be?
Logan Sargent, Theo Porcher, that other guy, and all of
Alex
those
Palau?
racing. Alex Palau going out in FP1. That was my moment for the weekend.
You're forgetting Robert
followed by
Schwartzman.
Robert Schwartzman. Yeah. All of them. मैं सबके नाम नहीं ले रहा हूँ. But that was my moment of the weekend, followed by Seb firstly leading the race for a couple of laps. That brought back some memories. And then his overtake on Magnussen. Oh!
What a beautiful last lap battle we had against Seb and Magnussen, man. I mean, Magnussen, kudos and credit where credit is due. He nursed the trials brilliantly on a one-stop. One-stop is not an easy thing to do with such wind, with such tire wear, with Kota being such an unforgiving circuit with the curbs and the elevation changes. Pulling off the mediums till the end was... pulling off one-stop till the end, like switching from, I think, hards to mediums. It was fantastic. I think that guy did a
Perez की याद
brilliant,
दिला दी लड़के ने.
Sachi, yaar, he did a brilliant job of carrying on the entire stint. I think it wouldn't have been possible. Like, he wouldn't have got the position had he not nursed the tire so brilliantly. Also, while we wait for Dhaval to come on stream, I will ask him, because it's very weird to just have my video on stream. Please switch your camera on. Thank you. Thank you very much. But apart from obviously Magnussen and Seb had a great battle. They ended the race beautifully, even though the smokes were going off, the firecrackers were going off. Sab Diwali mana rahe the US mein. So that was great. They got through that, but pretty magnificent drive from the top 9, don't you think?
Absolutely.
The top 9. I mean, if I just go over
the original race finished top 9.
Yeah, the original, apart from after Alonso's,
including Alonso,
30-second penalty. Yeah. And honestly, I thought a penalty was going to come, because as soon as I saw his right mirror fall off, I was like, that's very unsafe. And I'm shocked the penalty didn't come sooner. But
उसको तभी black and orange flag क्यों नहीं दिखाया?
Black and white flag, sorry. Black and orange क्या है? ये सोच. I don't know. I think they should have. But Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc, top 3, followed by Perez, Russell, Norris, Alonso, Vettel, Magnussen, Tsunoda, and Ocon. Those were your top 11 finishes, to be fair. I will count Alonso as a P7 finish, because Alonso did brilliantly to nurse his tires. To not nurse his tires, to come back to the pits. And you know what that reminded me of?
उसका गाड़ी वो wheelie किया bro, तू जैसा बोल रहा था पहले.
Yeah,
लड़के ने F1 कार में wheelie किया है. तो मतलब और फिर वो पीछे चला गया और फिर वो almost रेस जीत जाता लड़का ये तो.
Bro, Alonso's crazy. He's had a crazy mentality right now. That dude's 42, 41, whatever. But he's at a crazy, and he's driving at an amazing level. Like, he's outperforming the car every weekend, in and out. He's outperforming his teammate every weekend. A youngster who's supposed to be the future of Formula One, he's outperforming them every weekend. And other than that, that drive of Alonso reminded me of Baku 2018, where in the McLaren, he was crashed in the first lap. You take K1, corner 2, and then they crash into you. That famous line. He had 2 wheels and a broken front wing, and he went back to the pits and he finished in the points after that at Baku. What a beast and what a performance by Alonso. Sucks that he got the penalty, but what a performance. And not only by Alonso, what a performance by Magnussen, by Vettel, by Norris, by Hamilton, Leclerc. Checo, I feel, could have done better, in my opinion. Yes, Checo had a damaged front wing, but he was not losing out on too much time. He was not, had he been losing out on too much time, and if you saw it in the interval that he was losing out on too much time, Red Bull would have put him in the second and changed his front wing. But they didn't, because he was not losing out on too much time. So if he was not losing out on too much time with a P5 finish, actually, not a P4. Sorry, with a P4 finish before the penalties and after the penalties, he could have gone for a podium. I mean, he finished about 9 seconds behind Leclerc. He could have been closer, I feel.
Lola agrees with you.
Lola agrees with me. Zoe's passed out. So yeah. She's out.
Okay, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about some controversial things. I understand what Perez did was also magnificent, and I get why you say he could have done better, given that he's in the Red Bull car.
And given that he's Checo.
Given that he's Checo, given that he's in the car that's just won the Constructors' Championship. But यार कैसे निकलेगा वो? Hamilton,
Speaking of निकलेगा,
आगे नहीं निकल पाएगा वो.
Speaking of निकलेगा, I am so happy when Danny Rick announced that he is going to be in the paddock next year as a reserve driver. Primarily, the rumors are it's for Red Bull. So I'm just happy that he's going to be there. So moving on from that topic.
Danny Rick is a 1 second. What now? I missed this. Please enlighten me.
Oh, you missed it? Speaking of Niklega, Pallavi Joshi. Thank you, Pallavi. So Pallavi is my improv friend. She's going to be... We're happy that Arsh is here. Oh, anyway.
Nice. You have friends and fans
also. Thank you.
That's amazing.
I know. And as soon as I said that, the concurrent viewers dropped like 1/3.
It's great.
But anyway, getting back to...
हाँ बोल ना क्या ये रिकार्डो नेक्स्ट ईयर आ रहा है क्या कौन बोला ये हाँ कहाँ से
he's coming oh Pallavi is the only concurrent viewer because she says sorry Arsh, we're not friends yet. Anyway, getting back to this no I feel like Ricardo
Ricardo कहाँ बोला है सब जरा मुझे और डिटेल में बता.
So Ricardo was asked in a press conference about his next year plans. He said, "You're not going to miss me next year because I'm going to be around the paddock and I have plans which are completely certain and completely finalized for me getting into a race-winning car soon."
But then how we'll go at Red Bull?
Red Bull या Mercedes या Ferrari, it's going to be the top 3.
अच्छा तो मतलब Hamilton 2 साल में जा रहा है.
Either Hamilton में 1 साल 2 साल में जा रहा है, एक तो वो या पेरेस को 2023 के बाद रिलीज करेंगे. Do you
can't go back to Red Bull, man.
Why?
Stranger things have happened though.
Yeah, I mean, you've
maybe
seen
they
Alonso,
all met at the...
You're seeing Alonso go to Aston Martin next year and you're saying Danny Rick can't go back to Red Bull. That's a great question in the chat. Even though Dhaval's hung, I will continue this question. I think going to Red Bull as a reserve will get him a seat. Probably. Dhaval's back. Do you think going to Red Bull as a reserve will get him a seat? While Dhaval answers these questions, I will BRB.
Do you think going to Red Bull will get him a seat? No, man, that's not going to happen. At least not next year or even the year after that. I suspect that Red Bull will find someone who's kind of like faster, younger, there's a bunch of Sunoda type people, you know, around everywhere. So if Ricardo is getting a seat in 2 years' time from now at Red Bull, by when Max will be so used to the car will have been developed around him. I don't know. I don't know if that's really what Ricardo should be doing. If is this just one of his another stupid career moves that just makes him a lot of money still? I don't know. It's great, right? When a bad career move makes you like a lot of money and gets you a lot of fame.
McLaren's deal is doing exactly that.
That's what I'm saying. It's basically leaving Red Bull was one of Daniel Ricciardo's bad career moves.
The biggest mistake he's made in his career was moving out of the Red Bull.
And that has financially profited him immensely.
Yeah, I mean, Harsayev is right in the chat. To quote, it's likelier for Mercedes and Red Bull. That's exactly what I started off by saying. It's either Mercedes or Red Bull, and it looks like Mercedes, to be fair, because Hamilton has a higher chance of retiring than, you know, Checo getting out of the contract. Because I don't see Yuki Tsunoda being being upgraded to a Red Bull anytime soon. Sorry, Yuki, if you're watching.
I feel like, see, if not Yuki, I'm saying 2 years, man. Who knows? Maybe
Gasly, I mean, who do you have?
will go to another team. Gasly, after going to Alpine, will be like, देखो अभी मैं रेस जीत के तुमको दिखा दिया consistently, तो अभी मेरे को ले लो Red Bull में तुम लोग और मजे करेंगे.
Oh, 1 second. On the basis that Gasly wins at Alpine consistently.
Yeah.
Okay. On that fact, then I would also like to suggest that Nick DeVries could be ready for a role soon.
Maybe.
Because Nick DeVries has shown his performance in a Williams.
I'm saying, look, Alpine, look at what Alonso is doing with the car. Okay? Look at what Ocon is doing with the car. Next year, the car will be better. Maybe they could be fighting. I'm saying consistently winning, मतलब साल के 2-3 रेस जीत के दिखाए वो.
And if the Alpine is what it is supposed to be, like even this year they've been a beast of a car.
Exactly.
They've been a beast of a car for a midfield team. And if it's continuing to grow next year, I think they're going to be a podium contender regularly.
Hence.
They're going to be like the Mercs of this year, you know? I feel they're going to be like the Mercs of this year. Where
what are the Mercs of this year going to be like next
just
year?
Pick up. The Mercs of this year are going to be Mohammad Bin Suleim of next year, the FIA president. They're going to be that fast. I mean, Toto has clearly said it. If Red Bull get away without any points reduction of the budget cap, we are building a rocket ship. Fuck the budget cap. Toto has already said it. We're breaching the budget cap and we're building us a rocket ship. So
let's talk about that again for a second. The budget
cap.
Before
we move on to the budget cap, there's a question in the chat. Who would you rate better this season? Hamilton or Russell?
Sorry.
Hamilton or Russell?
कभी ऐसा उत्सुकता में ऐसा Daniel Ricciardo prematurely निकल जाता है.
Okay. Who would you rate better?
Okay. So look, we've had this discussion before. Hamilton has been in such great cars that when he gets this new car, he's like, this is shit, raddi hai, mere se nahi hoga. Because when I turn the wheel these many degrees, I expect the car to do this, and it's like not doing that, so I'm not being able to reach my pace. Russell has come from a Williams, which was a raddi car, to a Mercedes. So he's like, whoa, itne mein hi ho jata hai tum log ka turn. So,
and to a point where he outperformed the Williams.
He outperformed the Williams? He outperformed the Williams, yes. But when he's given a much better car, which is by default, you know, like up there, he's like super happy and he's like, मेरे को तो ये गाड़ी पसंद है, तुम लोग पता नहीं क्या जिग कर रहे हो. Having said all of that, these are the two places that these drivers are coming from. I think Russell has done a really good job because just because you have a great car doesn't mean you're consistently going to finish in the top
And I
five
think
as he
Russell for the
did for a
last
majority of the races this year.
However, for the last like at least 3 or 4 races or so, he's been driving very, I'd say, aggressive. Aggressive is so hard, but he's been driving like 17-year-old Max Verstappen, bro. Like when Max Verstappen came into Toro Rosso at the age of 17, like he was a torpedo. Even though I know Vettel termed Danny Kvyat as a torpedo, I'm not denying that. But Verstappen at the age of 17 was aggressive and going for dive bombs and doing all that jazz. I feel it's good. I don't know why Russell has come in that mindset today, like for the last few races. Great, Kabir. Hi, Kabir. Kabir's a friend. He's been a huge F1 fan as well. He has a nice question in the chat. Any thoughts on the Alonso robbery? Okay, I like to give my 2 cents on this. Kabir, as soon as I saw the mirror being fallen off, I kind of knew a penalty is coming in because it was unsafe for, like, according to FIA rules. And yes, the FIA rules have been very inconsistent. I agree with all of that jazz. But going according to the rule book, it's not safe for the car to go out on track in that condition. So I did see a penalty following up. However, I am horribly sad and very, very, very sad that Alonso was robbed of the P7 because it was a mega drive from that guy, and what a recovery from the guy. I feel bad about that, but talking about rules, I think it was fair.
But answer this question: Why didn't they show him the flag at that time? Everyone saw the mirror fall off.
What I think that goes back.
Imagine Alonso driving with ऐसा tape up किया हुआ mirror side में, duct tape से लगाया हुआ mirror. What they did to Tsunoda's rear wing. Like, why not? Be consistent in your rule following.
I mean, FIA has been very inconsistent this year.
That's the one thing we asked for. The one thing we asked for last year. Bichara Hamilton.
And I think talking
that
about
was the real robbery. Alonso क्या 30-second time penalty. उसका 30 साल का मेहनत तुम लोग ने पानी में मिला दिया for entertainment.
Michael Massey.
Disgusting human beings.
I mean, they've got 2 more questions in the chat. Russell won't bend like Bottas, so he can give Hamilton run for his money in some time. He's been giving Hamilton run for his money since the start of the season, I feel. Okay, look. Russell is great and all, but if Hamilton has a car that is the fastest on track, as in if the Mercedes becomes the fastest car on track, it's not going to happen as much. Russell उड़ जाएगा, bro. He'll keep, like, you know what's happening to Leclerc and Sainz, right? They're just like, whoa, crashing here and there. Why? Because the car is too fucking fast for them. Often. And not because of Ferrari's strategy.
No. That's different. That's a whole bunch of shit that happened. Yes. Like, imagine, you see the number of times Leclerc has crashed this year and last year.
And he's bended himself.
Yeah, himself. Because he's like, whoa, this car is... Oh, shit.
Imola, for example. Imola was a prime example of him winning it.
Monaco.
He was chasing. Monaco last year, nah. This year I'm not going to Imola.
Already pole पे था यार वो लड़का, फिर क्या कर रहा था वो? Idiot आदमी है वो.
I am stupid, Kabir. I agree with you. That is, so Kabir has another thing in the chat, talking about rules right after talking about Red Bull budget cap breach with no real penalty. I agree. That's exactly what I'm saying. Red Bull, if I have not been consistent this year, actually they've not been consistent for the last 2 years.
And where is the decision on that? Where is the decision on the budget cap? Why is there an offer?
The decision was delayed for Dietrich's death.
Oh, okay. Fair. That apart.
But why are you offering Red Bull already choice? Sorry.
Exactly. What is this bullshit that's happening?
It was the same thing with Michael Massey. Hey, do you want to overtake?
तूने मर्डर किया ना, अभी तेरे को 7 साल जाना है, 14 साल जाना है या लाइफ के लिए जाना है, तू डिसाइड कर.
या डिसाइड कर नहीं जा रहे तो तू फाइन भर के निकल जा.
हाँ.
Like, bro, and the explanation Red Bull is giving, it was cost of catering, it was cost of sick paid leaves, it was cost of this, it was cost. Abhay, shut up. What nonsense.
Even if it was cost of all of
£8
these
million.
even if it was, assuming but not admitting that it was, you have still breached the cap. Even if you spend it on like a paper cup, that's too bad, man. You shouldn't have bought that paper cup. Whatever, you're beyond the thing, and you gotta like bear the consequences of being beyond the thing. There was no caveat that if your budget cap for R&D increases by this much, कि तेरे को फाइन मिलेगा. तो R&D का बजट अलग से सेपरेट से रखो ना. ऐसा तो नहीं है ना, पूरा बजट है ना टीम का. तेरे को क्या लगता है वो हाथ वाले मैकेनिक्स ऐसा बैठ के पोहा का डब्बा से खा रहे हैं और बाजू में रेड बुल वाले ऐसा गोर में फूड खा रहे हैं, तो वो लोग को खराब नहीं लगता है?
ऑब्वियसली, लाइक हमने अपना गाड़ी पे पैसा खर्च किया, अपने खाने पे नहीं.
किसने बोला तुमको रिसोर्ट और सब ऑर्डर करने को?
और रिसोर्ट में लॉबस्टर मंगा रहे यार. तूने रेड बुल का मोटर होम देखा है?
नहीं. तूने देखा है?
देखा है मैंने.
अंदर गया तू?
पागल है. वीडियो
चल अबे, वो तो सबने.
रेड बुल मोटर होम इज क्रेजी. इट्स
मेरे को जाने का एक बार.
पैडक पास ले रेड बुल को, बोल मुझे इनवाइट करे. Either way, Red Bull has $1 billion resources. They have finance executives and accountants who know what they're doing. They are obviously instructed to not care because the
bro, ये एक must scene है. Adrian Newey is not employed by
employee. Oh, bhai. Kabir, you love this because we had this discussion on our group as well. What is this?
If you know the details, you can fill the gaps. But from what I am given to understand is that, of course, Red Bull being a large company or a group of companies, Michael Massey is employed, full-time employment, and the wages that he receives in compensation for that full-time employment is from another company. He is a consultant for Red Bull, and what he gets from Red Bull Racing, the Formula One team, is very little in comparison to what amount of money a person of that qualification.
It's like doing that shell company jazz, no? तो shell company खोलेगा.
Basically.
वही कर रहे हैं. केमन आइलैंड्स में तो शेल कंपनी खोल, अपना मनी वहां से इसको भेज, और तो बोल रहा है देख भाई केमन आइलैंड से पैसा आ रहा है, हम थोड़ी पैसे दे रहे हैं इसको.
Slightly different, but yeah, kind of similar to that analogy.
It's like if Nirav Modi was Red Bull. Anyway, getting back to the race. Getting back to the race, we had what, 2 safety cars?
17 it felt like.
Like fucking 17. No, sachi yaar. Do you think the race should have been red flagged after the Alonso and Lance Stroll crash?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
That was insane, dude.
Because Alonso...
If this was Dubai, Abu Dhabi last year, it would have been red flagged.
It would have been red flagged. Dude, it was Lando picked up Derry. Thank you, Kabir. Even we agree, it should have been red flagged. Lando picked up debris, Yuki picked up debris, Gasly picked up debris, Checo's car got damaged even further. It was too much debris. They should have easily red flagged the race. I don't know why they didn't.
Why did they didn't? Because championship is decided. अभी जाने दो ये लोग को. Next अगले साल वापस आ ही नहीं वाले.
Lando had a full spray on his helmet. Exactly, bro. Like if you saw the pictures. Lando had a full spray on his helmet. If you see the pictures of post race, Lando की गाड़ी, उसका जो कार्बन फाइबर है ना विंग, इस पे फ्रंट विंग के साथ जो कवर है, व्हील कवर, वो पूरा गया. किसी और का भी व्हील कवर गया था. I don't know if people in the chat can Massa scenes exactly. If people in the chat can remind me who else's wheel cover had blown off. I remember someone's wheel cover had also blown off. And the onboards were really scary to see. Like, they were bad. Like, I could see the amount of debris, and I was like you could see Gasly and all, like Yuki and all, like just trying to avoid it, but they couldn't. Yaar, kya kare? Itna debris. Who do you think was at fault, Dhaval? In the chat, please tell us, who do you think was at fault? Lance or Fernando? I think it was Fernando, to be fair. Fernando could have easily backed up. I'm just kidding. Lance was such an idiotic
It
move.
was just an incident, a racing
Incident.
incident. It was nothing more than a racing incident.
Was he
And
given a penalty? He was given a penalty, no? I mean, he didn't have to. He kind of DNF'd anyway, but he should have been given a penalty at least. Like penalty points.
Lance,
Yeah.
अभी क्या DNF हो गया फिर उसको क्या penalty?
अरे
इसीलिए तो
penalty
अलोंसो का
penalty points on his
नहीं
license
वो सब नहीं. It wasn't that bad. The consequences of it were there was a bit of late left from Lance. Not gonna deny that. But also Alonso why was he so close, bro?
Alonso could have avoided the crash.
Alonso didn't need to be so close also. You know, he could have been a little to the left himself.
He wanted to get slipstream, no?
And it wasn't, if he wanted to get ahead at that point, he was too far in Lance's line. Like, he was right behind Lance. He
There's a question
pushing the fuel at that time, huh?
I agree with you. He should have been pushing, but Lance could have not brake checked him. I think it was a racing incident between the two of them. They could have both avoided the crash, to be fair. But other than that, great recovery from Alonso. That guy's a beast. But Kabir has a question in the chat. 3-word race summary.
Verstappen, mutual masturbation.
Verstappen, mutual masturbation. Like it. Nice.
Basically, now everyone is there to jerk off Verstappen. And everything that is being done now. It's the Verstappen era we're living in.
I love Van Sahib's comment. It's just a normal icebreaker before the team up next year. The chat is pretty funny today. I like it. Alonso added one more memorable cash to his portfolio, literally Fast and Furious. Mohammad Arwaz. Great chat. Great one. But moving on towards the end of the race. Sorry, Zoe just got scared with a firecracker. Sorry, one second.
Patakado.
Yeah, Zoe just got scared. Zoe is my dog for the people in the chat that don't know. Ferrari Nazar Utaro is my 3-word summary.
I thought
you kind of cut off Dhaval. What do you say? He's just stuck. Okay. Moving on, I think it was a pretty interesting few last laps as well. I think I really enjoyed the battle between Hamilton and Verstappen. Like it was pretty good to see again. Hamilton fighting Verstappen for the victory. Do you think if Verstappen's pit stop, even though it got fucked, Verstappen still ready made up P1. That guy was on another level. But do you think Hamilton had a chance for the win? Honestly speaking?
Realistically, never.
No?
Never. Look, it's not, their car is only slower, yaar, and it's Verstappen driving. It's never going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Fair enough.
At least if their car was within, say, 2/10 of Ferrari of Red Bull, there would have been a chance, 2/10 or 3/10.
They were but 1.2, 1.3 seconds off the pace.
Yeah. So
like Verstappen was gaining about 2 seconds a lap on him.
क्यों? नहीं है उसका गाड़ी यार तेज नहीं बनाया है.
Like the Mercedes has way too much drag on the straight lines. Yeah, they've got too much drag on the straight lines.
Last year Red Bull had given up and they were like हम लोग अगले साल की गाड़ी डेवलप करेंगे. ये साल जो हो रहा है होने देते हैं. We'll put full force, but we'll put lots of effort into next year's car.
But to be fair,
at one point they were like, oh shit, we're doing well this year also. Okay, look, Haas and Red Bull, you cannot compare them. Okay.
I know they were just a joke, guys. Sorry.
For the simple reason that one of them is a legend team and the other one is Red Bull. So, I think we never stood a chance of winning that race unless Verstappen crashed out and Leclerc was 7th or 8th with
What
10
a
laps.
drive! Bloody P12 to P3.
Charlie boy.
Charlie boy
King
killed
Charles.
it. Yeah. King Charles.
King Charles. Uncle Charlie.
King Charles the Leclerc. King Charles the Leclerc. I think that should be his name now. And yeah, I agree with Kabir in the chat saying Verstappen is best car with 110 AI. Mercs can't win on pace. They're going to need other factors to be in a winning position. I think, yeah, I mean, that's what Merck's strategy has been all year. If you see, they've just been kind of picking up the pieces from other. I mean, to be fair, had Sainz not crashed out, you could be looking at a double Ferrari podium and not a Mercedes on the podium. That always happens with Mercedes. If you see in the past, it's always been like a Ferrari or a Red Bull
Vultures
DNF.
of this year.
And they're just like kind of holding on to the podium.
Just picking up what everyone is throwing off their plates.
Correct. Credit where credit's due. Hamilton put in a beast of a drive, but again, hadn't
bro,
not
Hamilton
been
भगवान है उसके against कुछ बोल ही मत तू.
बोल ही नहीं रहा bro. But to be fair, had Leclerc not gotten the penalty and gone down to P12, and had Checo also not gotten a penalty and gone down 5 places, and had Sainz not been taken out by Russell, Mercedes would be not competing.
How dare you?
For this thing, for the win.
How dare you?
Long stretch, but 2023 is Checo's last year in Red Bull, and who replaces him? Kabir, that's exactly what even
Daniel Ricciardo.
That's exactly because Danny Rick has kind of confirmed a reserve role in a race-winning team. So it's either going to be Mercedes or Red Bull, with Hamilton kind of retiring in a couple of years, I feel.
Why not Ferrari?
I think they've got a fixed driver lineup right now with in Sainz and Leclerc.
I don't know, man. Sainz is finishing P outside of the top 5 this year. Do they even want a driver from there?
Yes, because they know that the reason he's doing that is not his fault.
Yeah.
To be fair, Alonso in a Red Bull, imagine. That guy will take drivers by the 5th round, bro. It's confirmed that it's not Merc, so it's basically Red Bull. Exactly. So I know that it's going to be Red Bull for Danny Rick and Ayan Chaudhary. We have another question in the chat. One more person coming in with Nick De Vries will replace Checo, I feel, and all Dutch line up for Red Bull Racing. That was my concern as well, Dhaval. Like, remember I told you that Nick De Vries looks pretty decent as a driver for AlphaTauri, and if he's impressed in the first 2 years, it looks like he's going to be bumped up.
Let's see what he does with consistent performances, Let's put him into a year of racing and see how he comes out.
Just to be fair, we're judging Nick De Vries on a P8 finish in a Williams right now.
And that's great as a one-off. But, one swallow does not make a summer.
Well, that's true. Had it been the case, then Danny Rick would not be out of a seat of next year. Because he is literally the last winner of McLaren in the last 10 years.
Yep.
So had it been for a one-off, Marco has already said that Nick De Vries will be the lead driver 80 next year. I think that's fair. Yuki Tsunoda brings quite a bit of experience to kind of help Nick De Vries with AlphaTauri.
Championship winner.
And Nick De Vries brings in the experience of winning a world champion in Formula E.
Exactly.
So I feel Nick De Vries can bring a lot of value, and he's got a great shot at Red Bull if he performs consistently. Another question in the chat.
तू मेरे को एक चीज बोल
बोलना ब्रो.
ये डैनियल रिकार्डो को क्या बात किया ये लोग ने कि देख तेरे को रिजर्व ड्राइवर ले रहे बट तेरे साथ हम लोग वही ट्रॉमेटिक चीज वापस कर सकते हैं, bringing a young Dutchman to replace you.
He was not replaced by
Nick De Vries. Arey baba, he was replaced baba. Now let's not pretend. He was replaced. He felt like
because at a time has come. It was Vettel. It was Vettel with Danny Rick, and
Ricardo.
Then when Vettel went, it was like, okay, Danny Rick is like, I'm number 1, and then Verstappen came for a bit, and then Verstappen became the lover boy of Christian Horner. And even though Christian said, stay, we need you, Danny Rick was like, peace. I'm going to Renault, where I am number 1. Speaking of Renault, a question has come in the chat. How hostile will Ocon and Gasly be as teammates next year? I think
बिल्कुल भी नहीं वो लोग. They are those, like, do you have a friend that you've known forever and you're just like, if I see this guy, I'll hit him in the head. But, you're still friends, like, because you've known each other forever, They're like those. They won't actually do it. They won't hit each other in the head. But they'll just be like, ये साला अरे यार लेकिन मेरा दोस्त है.
I mean,
6 साल के
to
बच्चे
be
थे तब
fair-
से वो लोग एक दूसरे के साथ रेसिंग कर रहे हैं.
Yeah, but to be fair, Gasly and Ocon both uploaded pictures on their Twitter and Instagram, cutting the same picture they uploaded by cutting the two of them out. And why is
That's
Dhaval
just
talking?
pettiness,
Why
man.
is Dhaval talking about Akash?
Believe it or not, I've not known him for that long. I've known him for like 2 hours or something.
Yeah, they met on Couch Pundits, if you didn't know.
Like literally, one day I just logged into a random Zoom stream and he was there and I was like, "ये तू कौन है?" He's like, "मैं आकाश." I was like, "सही है, bro. Chal."
Ayan's like, remember
Yes,
Nico
I
Hamilton
understood.
pairing? They were friends from childhood, but ended on such a bad note. I mean, let's not talk about Nico Rosberg, who beat Hamilton in the same car.
Machinery. It's the same machinery.
But anyway, talking about Ocon and Gasly, I feel that's not going to happen. Yes, it might be competitive on track, but I think it's going to take about 3 years for their relationship to get sour. It's not going to be happening immediately if it does, because we also thought that was going to be the case with Hamilton and Russell when they signed Russell on. Like Hamilton and Russell will be like, oh my God, they're going to be this thing, they're going to be that. But they were, yeah, that's what I said. Hey, Kabir's like, hey, Rosberg is the only teammate to beat Lewis and Schumi. I'm with you. Exactly. Rosberg beat Schumi and Lewis, 7-time world champions, in the same machinery. Rosberg, top 20 of all time. On top is Gotifi, then comes Rosberg. जो करना है. But ending the stream, before we end the stream, let's talk about final thoughts on guys. You all can feel free in the chat to write anything, because you all have been going ham and I'm loving it. Actually, both of us are loving the chat right now. So please feel free to write whatever you want in the chat for your final thoughts. Actually, you know what, chat? Sum up the race in 2 words while we think of 2 words as well.
नहीं, क्यों?
नहीं, मत कर. I was just thinking of a fun game.
नहीं, those are my 2 words. That's basically Verstappen telling everyone, नहीं, क्यों?
I agree. K-Mag versus Vettel, good stuff. K-Mag has really evolved as a racer, only if he can survive race starts. That's another question for another day. We can have some cricket talk for a couple of cricket का stream हुआ है, जाके देखो.
हो रहा है
वापस हो रहा है, देखो. मुझे भी नहीं पता. But Dhaval करेगा stream. But Dhaval, final thoughts before you go and predictions for Mexico?
No predictions. Checo will finish on the podium and that's all that matters. I just want to see his father back on the track again. That's
I want
all
to see Checo win. I mean, you've wrapped up both the titles there. Now let Checo win.
Let him win मतलब क्या इधर Ferrari और Hamilton क्या हिलाने को बैठे क्या?
चलेगा ना. Ferrari तो anyways पूरे साल हिला ही रहे.
देख prediction ज्यादा नहीं है. Verstappen जीतेगा, Checo पोडियम पे आएगा. अगर 1-2 हो रहा है तो शायद तू जैसा बोल रहा है उसको आगे जाने देगा. But other than that कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. ज्यादातर एक Ferrari आएगी पोडियम पे या तो एक Mercedes आएगी.
Okay.
यही होता आ रहा है, यही होता जाएगा.
Kabir and Harsh,
I am more excited for the sprint race in Brazil.
Oh, I'm super psyched for that. Guys, if you all don't know what the sprint race is, we'll be uploading another reel explaining the sprint race format. So,
ठीक है.
अरे वो ready है. वही repost करेंगे.
सही है.
But anyway, that's all from us at Couch Pundits Sports. Thank you to everyone that joined. Thank you to everyone that uploaded questions and had this discussion. So made this discussion so fruitful. We got quite a few interesting these things. I agree, Kabir. Sao Paulo best track on the calendar. I love it. I really want them to end with Brazil. I don't know why they're ending at Abu Dhabi, man. They should end the thing at Brazil or end it at Australia. One of them. They've got such great tracks to end it at. They're ending it at Abu Dhabi. Idiots. Anyway, that's it from us at Pundits Sports. Thank you so much to everyone that joined. Thank you to Kabir, Mohammed, Har Sahib, Ayan, every person that kind of joined in. And if you guys like what we're doing, please share it with your friends. Please share it with your family. Don't forget to subscribe. We really would love to hit 3,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So don't forget to click the subscribe button, click on the bell icon, all that jazz. Follow us on Instagram. Follow Couch Pundits on Instagram. All the description is in the link below. That's it. We will see you after Mexico. Have a great weekend. Good night.